Hey, what's up, everybody? Real Sports Updates back again with another video. Clay Helton finally was let go from USC. I think it was like 4 years in the making. Probably 4 years too late, but he got let go. We all knew that was going to happen. The thing I want to focus on is who's going to replace him. The USC job is really, well, it used to be one of the most coveted jobs in college football, but because of all the scandal, the SAT scandal that went on, there's going to be some hesitation from a lot of coaches to really take the job. They still haven't found a president of the university yet. So things are kind of a mess there. So first candidate that I heard, Urban Meyer. Just today, Urban Meyer came out and said that he's not interested in the SC job. But we know college coaches, we know what this is, the posturing, and he's obviously the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars now. So, you know, his true interest won't be shown until probably after the season is done. But he says that there's no interest there, so I'll take him at his word for that now. But we'll see what happens later on in the future. Number two, James Franklin, head coach of Penn State right now. I think there might be some really good mutual interest there between him and SC. And they've kind of been up and down since he got there. When he first got there, they were really, the first 2 or 3 years, they were really good. He got them really good pretty fast. So I think there's going to be some mutual interest there between the two. But he's another one who's came out and said that he's not interested in the job. So again, we'll have to see about that one as well too. Third viable candidate is Matt Campbell, Iowa State. That's the one where there might be interest on his side, but I'm not sure if SC is really interested in him. I mean, he's done a fantastic job at Iowa State. He's built a winner, and they have a program that's stable year in and year out. They're always ranked top 20, top 15, and they stay in those rankings. He's built a winner there, but I don't know if the brass at USC will find him viable for that position. But I think he might be somebody to watch. If USC gets turned down by other top candidates, I feel like he will be somebody to really watch for. Fourth candidate I heard of, and it's kind of a pipe dream, is Mario Cristobal from Oregon. That would probably be the best. If he was interested in the job, that would be the best candidate. He's the best recruiter right now in the Pac-12 and probably top 5 recruiter in the nation. He's led Oregon to really being a stable powerhouse now. You know, the Chip Kelly era was fun and all that, but it didn't last very long. And Chip Kelly has he has a thing where, you know, he'll go in, he'll turn a program around, they'll get really good really fast, but the lasting power is not there. Mario Cristobal is building a lasting power. Like they're gonna last. Oregon's gonna last for a while with his recruiting and his ability to recruit. Is he interested? I wouldn't think so. To leave Oregon, everything that he's built there right now, they just got a big win last week over Ohio State. I don't see him leaving. But if he was interested, I think USC would offer him as much money as he wanted. The interim head coach for USC, Dante Jackson, was at Oregon, and when Mike Bone, the USC athletic director, was hired, he ended up recruiting Dante Jackson away from Oregon and bringing him to SC. With recruiting power between Dante Jackson and Mario Cristobal, it turned to like national dominance that they had years before, if that were to happen. But I think that's a very long shot at this point. And number 5, which I think is probably the most reasonable, Eric Bieniemy, the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. He has expressed interest in the SC job. You know, he's a guy who has developed under Andy Reid. He played for Colorado. They weren't in the Pac-10 yet back then, but Colorado, they are in the Pac-12. So he was, you know, I believe he was an All-American running back there. But he played in the NFL for a while as well too. And he's a guy he's developed as a coach under Andy Reid. He has not been hired anywhere. I don't think he's been offered any jobs either in the NFL. And he's one of those guys that's his name is in the coaching carousel every year in the offseason when teams are looking for coaches. So I think he would be a really really good coach at the college level. His development under Andy Reid in that offense in the West Coast offense to bring a version of that to college, to bring a version of that to USC, I think would be a very very good fit for SC and for him. And you know, if you're able to keep Dante Jackson around, you know, if you're able to keep those guys around who are good recruiters, bringing some of the top recruits in the nation, I feel like you would have an advantage, you know, coming to play under Eric Bieniemy at USC. He's, like I said, he's developed under Andy Reid. You know, he has a lot of, his fingerprints are on Mahomes and his development and all that stuff too. So to say that you have done that and you helped develop Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and all these superstar players on the Chiefs offense, you know, you can go and sit on a 17-year-old kid's couch and say, you know, this is how I developed all these guys. But I didn't develop him until they got to the NFL. I'm going to give you this development next year, you know, as an 18, 19-year-old. You know, that could really swing things in USC's favor. But, you know, we'll see. I think those candidates are the ones, I've been hearing a lot of other names too. Lane Kiffin, his name keeps getting brought up, and USC already fired him. He already coached there, and he's already been fired. So I don't think SC's interested in that. There's going to be some other names as well too that are going to come up probably. It just depends on how fast USC wants to take this. And I don't think they're in a rush. This is the second game of the season, so I believe Dante Jackson's going to be the interim coach all season long. And then, you know, the coaching search will ramp up after the season's done. But they're going to have some time. There's going to be some coaches, some NFL coaches, obviously. Probably some NFL head coaches. You know, maybe guys who feel like they're going to get fired, or, you know, coaches who haven't been hired. You know, I expect USC to reach out to a lot of people. The football program need juice again. It's become a little bit of a circus, and I feel like the fans, the alumni, everybody that's associated with USC has called the program out in one way or another. So they really need to get on this. They probably want to get a president first. Probably want to hire a president before they hire a football coach, which is understandable. But they're going to have time, and I think they need to take their time. They need to do their due diligence, and they need to find out which guy is going to push the program forward in a positive way. You know, SE is really, they're not what they used to be, and you know, for them to get back to that point, they're gonna need a guy to lead them in the right direction. They're gonna need a guy who's not afraid of the spotlight. It is LA. There's 2 NFL teams playing there. There's you got UCLA down the road, so you're gonna need somebody who's going to excite the fan base, but also is going to help develop these players. You know, USC has the most to this day, the most NFL draft picks of any college program. No matter who it is, Alabama, Ohio State, any of the other blue bloods, USC has the most players drafted in the NFL. So there's a high standard there. So whatever coach is coming in is going to have to meet that high standard. Also, you know, like I said, the recruiting is going to be a big thing. There's other programs who are coming in recruiting California. USC used to have a lock on California recruiting. Not the deal anymore. Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, all of them are starting quarterbacks from California. Those are all kids who are from California. All kids who I don't even think any of them had USC in their potential school list. So got to get back to recruiting. Got to get back to recruiting California. gotta lock California down. Oregon is another team that's recruiting California. They're getting a lot of prospects out of California, so they gotta hire the right guy, and they have to recruit, and they have to get, they have to get the prospects back, and you gotta lock California down. That should be the number one focus of any coach that's coming in. But yeah, so those are just the candidates who I feel are serious right now. I mean, it's speculation, and the news is still kind of new, still kind of fresh to everybody. So once it dies down a little bit as the season goes on, I think that's when you'll see some of the coaches who are really interested. You'll see their names in the mix a little bit more. But yeah, we'll see what happens from here. But Clay Helton fired, Dante Jackson interim head coach, and we'll see where USC goes from here. So yeah, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments who you would hire if you were in the brass at USC, who you would hire to lead the football program.